Rumpelstiltskin. There was once a miller who had a very beautiful daughter. She was so beautiful that soon the king got to hear of her. The king called the miller to his palace to ask him about his daughter. Now the miller was a very silly man. He thought that it wasn't enough to be both beautiful and clever, so he boasted to the king. "My daughter is not only beautiful and as bright as the button," he said, "but she can spin straw into gold." The king was amazed. "Bring her to the palace at once," he ordered, "and if you are telling the truth, she shall become my wife." The miller took his poor daughter to the palace, and that night the king took her to a room full of straw and said, "Spin the straw into gold by the morning and prove that your father was not lying." And he locked the door behind him. Of course, the poor girl had no idea how to spin straw into gold, and she began to cry. Just then, she heard a voice. Standing in front of her was a tiny little man. "Why do you cry, miller's daughter?" he squeaked. "Because I have to spin this straw into gold by morning, and I have no idea how to do it," she sobbed. "What will you give me to do it for you?" "My necklace," said the miller's daughter. And bish bush, the straw was turned into gold in the twinkling of an eye. When the king unlocked the door the following morning, he was very pleased. "Wonderful," he cried. "Tonight you can spin me twice as much gold." That night, he shut the poor miller's daughter into an even bigger room full of straw. Once again, the little man appeared. "What will you give me if I spin this straw into gold?" he squeaked. "My ring," said the miller's daughter. And bish bush, the straw was turned to gold in the twinkling of an eye. When the king unlocked the door the following morning, he was very, very pleased. "Wonderful," he cried. "Now you can spin me 3 times as much gold. And if you do this, I shall marry you, and you'll never have to spin again." As soon as she was alone, the little man appeared again. "What will you give me if I spin this straw into gold?" he squeaked. "Alas, I have nothing left to give," wailed the miller's daughter. "Then promise me your first child when you are a queen," he squeaked. The poor miller's daughter thought hard. Why, that might never happen, she thought, so she agreed. The king was thrilled with his gold and kept his promise. They were married the next day, and a year later, the queen gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. She was so happy with her baby that she had quite forgotten her promise to the little man. But one day, he came to her room and demanded that she give him her baby prince. She offered gold, jewels, half the kingdom, but he would not budge. The poor queen started to cry, and feeling just a little sorry for her, the tiny man said, "You may keep your baby if you can guess my name. You have 3 days in which to do it. I'll be back to see you tomorrow night." The queen spent the whole night writing lists of all the names she knew, and the next morning sent the messenger out to gather all the names that he could find. The following night, when the little man arrived, she asked, "Is your name Nick, or Dick, or Rick? Is it Leo, or Rio, or Theo?" "No, it is not," shouted the little man. The following night, she asked him silly names. "Is it Bottom, or Sausage Nose, or Puggy Doggy?" "No, it is not," shouted the little man. On the 3rd day, the messenger returned late in the evening. "I have no new names," he said. "But late last night, as I climbed into the high mountains, where the hare and the fox say goodnight to each other, I saw a tiny man dancing around the fire singing, 'Burn, fire, burn, for they'll never learn my name. What a shame! Tomorrow the prince will be my kin, because my name is Rumpelstiltskin." The queen jumped for joy, and when the little man came in, she asked, "Is your name John?" "No, it is not." "Is it Tom?" "No, it is not." "Then it must be Rumpelstiltskin." The little man flew into fury. "A witch must have told you," he screamed. And he stomped his feet so hard that to the prince's astonishment, he disappeared right through the floor, and he was never seen again.